Hey guys, what is going on? I go by the name of Pete on the beat, and in this video I would like to show you how to prep a great bodybuilding meal. This meal is also great for someone who really wanna do the 1 meal a day plan, or someone who already does the 1 meal a day plan, or somebody who follows intermittent fasting type of a protocol. The whole meal is based around a salad, some baked sweet potatoes and a lot of chicken. Here I would like to point out that I prefer to use no hormone injected type of chicken, and I definitely recommend you to do the same. The other types of ingredients, some of them are organic, some of them are not, especially the sweet potatoes. I will not do like organic sweet potatoes. I definitely believe this is something important that I would like to point out before I start with the whole cooking and that kind of stuff. The whole meal, it's fairly easy. I do believe anyone can do this meal. I do believe it's extremely easy to prep. So without further ado guys, I would like to start with the sweet potatoes. Right now I'm about to show you, and right now you're probably already able to see on the screen the way how I prefer to prep the sweet potatoes. In this video we are not going to use any baking paper or whatever. So the first thing that we are going to do is to wash each and every of those sweet potatoes, and personally I prefer to not peel the sweet potatoes for the most part, but I definitely prefer to remove both ends of each and every sweet potatoes, because I do believe there are some nasty things on this part of the potato. And after we remove the outer parts, or the ends, it depends on how you prefer to call it, we are going to dry them, and then we are going to stab them. And as long as for the stabbing and that kind of stuff, you can use either a smaller knife, which I prefer to use, or a fork. I do not prefer to do this with a bigger knife because I really want to not hurt myself. I hope that makes sense to you, just a side note. So this is the reason why I prefer to use the smaller knife, and I do believe that I'm able to stab them a lot better when I use the smaller knife with the fork. So when we already have the sweet potatoes prepped and everything, we are going to throw them without any baking paper and that kind of stuff in this cooker. So for this thing we're going to use this cooker. This is the type of cooker that I prefer to use. If you really want to know the model, I always talk about this in my other videos. Basically it's the same thing as the Mercola cooker. If you're familiar with Dr. Mercola and his Mercola cooker, this is something that is extremely similar to this model. It's called Ronson Easy Cook. This is the exact model, Ronson Easy Cook. You can Google it out, but it's just a simple cooker. It's not a microwave. I prefer to stay away from microwaves and that kind of stuff, and I definitely encourage you to do the same thing because they are extremely unhealthy. Anyway, I'm gonna throw all of the potatoes, and basically I'm gonna bake them for like 50 minutes to 1 hour. And here I would like to point out that the way how I prefer to bake the potatoes, especially when I do not use the baking paper or aluminum foil and that kind of stuff, when I do not wrap them in baking paper or aluminum foil. So the way how I prefer to bake my sweet potatoes in this particular situation is to bake them for 20 to 30 minutes on one side, and then I'm gonna flip them and I'm gonna bake them for another 20 to 30 minutes on the other side. It's almost like we got side B and side A, like the records and that kind of stuff. Anyway, this was just a joke. So while we are baking the sweet potatoes, we are going to use this time to prep our chicken. Extremely easy. We are going to use a under tension cooker. I'm pretty sure all of you guys out there, or girls, have this piece of equipment in your kitchen. Just a regular under tension cooker, nothing fancy. Bam! Right now it's done. This is how it looks. So right now we are going to chop it on smaller pieces, like relatively smaller pieces, and then we are going to do all of the seasoning and that kind of stuff. As long as for the seasonings, I always prefer to use like a lot of salt. I prefer to keep my sodium intake high, and this is the thing that I highly recommend you to do, especially if you do ketogenic diets, 1 meal a day. And of course, if you really want to have higher levels of performance throughout the day, as long as for your physical performance in the gym, pumps, avoiding cramp situations with cramping and that kind of stuff, and of course the performance you have as long as with your brain, like mental performance and that kind of stuff, I do believe sodium intake is crucial. And I always talk about this because it really makes difference for me. As we all probably know, during the SWS, the slow wave sleep, our brain cells exchange like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and by sodium I always talk about the high end Celtic sea salt or the high-end Himalayan rocks or the high-end traditional salt. Here we are going to use this traditional salt. This is the product that I prefer to do nowadays because I'm not always able to get my hands on the Celtic sea salt, which is my all-time favorite. I'm gonna use some organic curry right now. I'm about to show the badges or the stickers. This says basically biological agriculture. This is how they call the organic here where I'm based. This is some type of analog to the organic USDA approved in the States. So after we finish with all of the seasonings and that kind of stuff, we are going to let the chicken cool down and basically absorb all of the flavors. And during this particular time, we are going to use this period of time to basically prep the salad. So as I've mentioned, this meal is based around salad, chicken and baked potatoes. So a tiny important detail that I would like to make you pay attention to is the fact that I'm gonna use 2 tomatoes. They look gorgeous, as you can probably see. So here is a tiny important detail that I would like to share with you, is the fact that I'm going to use the tomatoes. As you're gonna be able to see, they look gorgeous. They look really gorgeous actually, but I'm not gonna eat a lot of the tomatoes. I'll probably have a bunch of slices, and this is basically because some tomatoes, organic or not, I do not have any blood sugar dysregulations throughout the fasted state and that kind of stuff. Please don't get me wrong, I do not believe that they are unhealthy or that kind of stuff, especially if you can get your hands on the organic products, but they might give me some form of cravings. So I typically prefer to stay away from the tomatoes. Just a side note, and the other thing that I would like to point out, that I cook whole meal not for me only, just a side note too. So the other ingredients that we are going to use for this salad are my currently favorite salad foods. And here another side note that I would like to make, and definitely want to encourage all the people out there who have really hard time to get enough fiber in their diet, either if it's 1 meal a day, either if it's like completely ketogenic diet. All of these people out there who have the problem of the bloatness from the broccoli and from the typical highly recommended fibrous veggies, I definitely encourage you to pay attention to these ingredients that I'm about to show. First one is the salad rocket, and the second one is the garden salad. These are my currently favorite green leafy veggies that I always find a way to incorporate in my daily meals, and I do believe they are great. You're probably already familiar with both of these foods, but I discovered them, I found them in the grocery store lately, because here where I'm based, to a certain extent, for really longer periods of time, they were not available. So basically I discovered them in one of the local grocery stores lately. They taste really great, and they're green leafy veggies, and they're extremely easy to digest, and I definitely recommend you to give them a try. So the first thing that we're going to do with these veggies is to wash them and cut them on relatively smaller pieces along with the tomatoes, and we are going to throw them in this big bowl. This is some IKEA bowl, just in case you wonder. So then we are going to do all the seasoning and that kind of stuff. I'll probably add salt and a little bit of black pepper even on the salad. I do love black pepper. And the other thing that we're going to do is to prep the mushrooms. So the way I'm going to prep the mushrooms is extremely simple. I'm going to wash them, and then when I already feel like the potatoes are ready or they're almost ready, I'm gonna throw the mushrooms on top of the potatoes. And here I would like to do the third side note for this video. And this is basically the fact that I prefer to not overcook the mushrooms. So the thing that I'm trying to explain is extremely obvious. You probably already know that the mushrooms do not need that much of baking and cooking such as the potatoes. So when I feel the potatoes are ready, I'm gonna throw the mushrooms on top of everything. And then when I got the mushrooms and the potatoes already cooked, I'm gonna throw a little bit of black pepper on top of the mushrooms. So right now, guys, everything is done. I'm about to show how the final product looks like, and then I'm about to show you a typical dish, one portion or whatever. So after I show you a typical portion, I will give you the whole caloric and macronutrient breakdown in order to help you make the proper calculations if you want to fit this meal somehow in your macros. So yeah guys, this is basically everything I wanted to show you in this video. I hope you like this meal and this video. Definitely encourage you to give this meal a try and maybe give me some comments in the comment section, share your experience with the meal. Let me know how you feel on the next day. Let me know if you like the taste or whatever. I will be so happy if you do this. Maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for now. I would like to thank you for watching this video. Please stay tuned for more. Have a nice one. Peace and I'm out, and good work with your cooking endeavors. Peace.